St. Peter's Basilica is a church built in Renaissance style. It is located in the Vatican City and is the largest Christian church in the world, seating up to 20,000 worshippers.
History.
St. Peter is mentioned in the Act of Apostles as one of 12 disciples after the crucifixion of Christ. He was a fisherman of Galilee and took a leading position amongst the followers of Jesus. Today, we can consider him one of the founding members of Christianity. According to Catholicism, Peter traveled to Rome in 64 AD or CE during the reign of Emperor Nero. Nero ordered the execution of Christians, including Peter, and he was crucified in the same manner as Christ. Peter himself requested to be crucified head downwards, as he thought himself unworthy to die in the same manner as Jesus. He was crucified close to the ancient Egyptian obelisk, which you can find outside in St. Peter's Square. It would be 300 years until the first basilica was built in his name. In the 15th century, the old basilica had fallen into disrepair, and it was decided to rebuild and scale up drastically. In the Pope's Christmas address of 1950, Pius XII announced to the world that the tomb of St. Peter had been located. Back in the 16th century, it was decided that the funding would come from selling indulgences. In other words, the church would accept money and favors in exchange for pardoning sins. Designs were commissioned by notable artists, some entries of which remain intact today in the Uffizi Gallery in Florence. Donato Bramante's design was selected, and the foundation stone was laid in 1506. Pope Julius died in 1513, and the incoming pope replaced Bramante. The new architect then died in 1515, then the one after the same year. Bramante died the year before. Raphael was eventually confirmed architect, and today we see his design modifications. In 1520, he also died and was replaced by Peruzzi, who a few years later died. San Gallo the Younger then took over and later died, at which point Michelangelo was forced to take over.
Today.
The central dome of the basilica dominates the skyline of Rome and stands at 450 foot or 136 meters. Approaching the basilica, you have St. Peter's Square, which is surrounded by colonnades. At the front of the basilica, you'll see the statues of St. Peter and St. Paul, both first-century apostles to Rome. If you spot the bronze door on your way in, this is known as the Holy Door and is opened only on odd occasions. The basilica layout is in the shape of a crucifix, and the central dome is one of the largest ever built, even today. The nave, which leads to the dome, has 3 bays, all with columns supporting vaults, which are the highest of any church in the world. There are also additional chapels surrounding the dome, including the chapels of the Virgin Mary, the choir, the altar of transfiguration, the Clementine, the sacristy, the altar of the Lie, the left transept, the altar of the Sacred Heart, Madonna of Column, the altar of St. Peter and the Paralytic, the apse, the altar of St. Peter raising Tabitha, the altar of St. Petronilla, the altar of Archangel Michael, the altar of Navicella, the right transept, the altar of St. Jerome, the altar of St. Basil, the Gregorian Chapel, the Holy Sacrament, St. Sebastian Chapel, and the Chapel of Pieta. There are also many monuments dotted around all of them, depicting those affiliated and dedicated to them. At the heart of the basilica, under the high altar, is the Chapel of Confession. This is reached by taking the marble staircase underground to the level of Constantinian, which is immediately above the resting place of St. Peter. The entirety of St. Peter's is decorated beyond over the top. The interiors are embellished with marble, reliefs, sculpture, and gilding. It also contains many treasures, artifacts, icons, and tombs. The tombs are mainly made up of popes, but a couple of other notable others made it in. The clocks on the basilica's facades replaced Bernini's bell towers. The left clock shows Rome time, while the right clock shows European mean time. Above the Roman clock, you'll see the coat of arms of the city-state of the Vatican, held by 2 angels. St. Peter's Basilica is the only church in the world which solely follows Vatican law. It is fully enclosed within the borders of the city-state of the Vatican, which means the Italian state has no say whatsoever of what goes on inside. If you want to visit St. Peter's Basilica, entry is free to all. You'll need to enter the Vatican and go through minor security checks. Make sure to dress modestly, or you may be refused entry. If you've enjoyed this video, why not check out this one, or this one, or this one, or even this one, or hit the red head to check out the whole library. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and press the notification bell. Or if you would like to show some extra love, why not become a patron? Ciao for now.